Hello there, and welcome to the Weekly Worgen, and my maiden video voyage for this gaming channel. Now, today is really cool because Blizzard has announced a page of the upcoming Diablo 3 patch 2.6.0. And as far as I'm concerned, this is pretty much the biggest content patch Diablo's gotten since, well, the expansion of Reaper of Souls, which was a while ago, I think almost 2 years or more. And, the funny thing is that I kind of like the system that Diablo's going. I think it's a really good quality game. I personally can't wait to get it on console. That's when I'm going to play it really hard. It's actually one reason why I want the Xbox One X, bet you haven't heard that before, is to play Diablo 3 in 4K and in its most brightest, best mode possible. And right on the heels, it's kind of coming in conjunction, but you'll be getting it even if you don't get the DLC class package of the Necromancer class that's coming to Diablo 3. I'm not really into that class myself, it just doesn't hit me. I'm hoping and praying that the Druid will finally come to Sanctuary, because I really can't wait to do that. That's totally my game. I want to play as a monstrous beast of Mother Nature, and I want to control Mother Nature, and I want to give her wrath to heaven and hell, and just go, just, yeah, red in tooth and claw. But, yeah, so, this patch 2.6.0 is bringing actual content. It's bringing new zones, and not just new zones to play in and kill in, but it's got zones that have lore. And lore that extends from what we've seen in Reaper of Souls. This is really cool. This page that was released on the Diablo 3 website that you can check out, they gave a third zone coming. I thought there was only two, because at BlizzCon they only talked about two, but there's three coming. So the first one would have to be the Shrouded Moors, which I'm looking forward to because it's a lot about nature, the dark side of nature, and that's really cool. Again, I'm totally into that stuff. You're going in some creepy forests and some funky ruins that are like its purpose on the page says like it's been lost to the sands of time kind of thing, as far as what the heck it is, no one knows. And you're probably not going to find that much, but it's still cool to add that little bit there, flavor. They're probably going to be adding like a ton of little quests. I'm hoping they'll be voiced, as they usually are in Diablo, which I love voice acting, especially in Diablo's. Diablo's voice acting is stellar, as in all Blizzard games. And so I'm looking forward to it, because the Shrouded Moors they're wild and nasty, but it's also saying that there is something going on in there, something funky, something smelly is going on in there. And we get to find out and bash it in the face. So that's fun. And the second one would have to be Temple of Firstborn. Temple of our ancestors, we the Nephilim that we play as. We're going to go back to the very first temple of our ancestors, basically, which is really cool. I love it when they do this, when they have some proper lore. This isn't just some extra zone out there. The Shrouded Moors, I think, aesthetically sounds really cool and fun, but it's very similar to a lot of the little zones and stuff that have been added throughout the years and whatnot in Diablo 3's existence, and that they're kind of write-off zones, they're not really that important to the lore. They're just, oh, look at this funky zone, go there. It's just a little bit of change of scenery, frankly. But this, the Temple of the Firstborn, this is proper Diablo lore, Sanctuary lore, and you're going to go underground, and it's supposed to be, the developers described it as having like a bit of a trippy kind of atmosphere, a bit of a H.P. Lovecraft type thing going on down there. Lots of weird things, because there's something nasty down there, and these cultists have come in, and a new priesthood have come in, and they've despoiled it, desecrated it, and made it all nasty, and they're creating crazy funky abominations and things and whatnot for us to rip to pieces and blow up into pretty little pieces of loot. And again, I'm really looking forward to that. They could be doing some fun aesthetic stuff in here, and I have a feeling all these zones are going to be using more things happening in them, basically. These are definitely not, copy and paste type zones. The developers have actually properly been working on these things. And that's awesome. That brings us to the third zone. Now this one, which wasn't mentioned at BlizzCon, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it wasn't mentioned at BlizzCon, is the Realms of Fate. And we're going back up to the high heavens, the heavenly high heavens, which is really cool. That's my favorite zone in Diablo. I mean, a lot of zones look really the same, and they really do not look different, but you go to the high heavens, that actually looks different, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like the brightness. I like the angelic, how the angels look in this game. So we're going to be going to the libraries of the Archangel Ethereal, who's going like, dude, some funky stuff's going on here. Get out here and help me. Because some funky stuff is going on. It's like Karazhan. It's been described as saying like these rifts are opening in space and time between past, present, and possible futures, and it's like you got to go in there to help figure out what's happening, because like Tyrion's like, hey Nephilim, you guys can handle this stuff. You're tough as nails. Yeah, see what's happening since Diablo ripped everything to pieces, and that's really cool. I love that just from the lore perspective. Like I'm not expecting a full campaign story and reams of lore and character and whatnot, but just the fact that these are different locales with major lore significance to them is fan-frackin-tastic. And you know, there's going to be tons of new treasure and gear and bounties and whatnot, and that combined with if you want to buy the Necromancer, which comes at the end of June, I believe, and that's a fair load of content, and it's really cool. And I just want to close by kind of finishing off my opinion of Diablo 3 and its content releases. A lot of people, especially the hardcore fans, have been really salty and ticked off because just not a lot has been happening in Diablo 3. But Diablo 3, remember, two things here, people. For a game that does have these RPG elements to it, that has a story and lore that is kind of continuing, that is as deep and thick as Diablo, the developers, remember, they aren't working on that whole sub-fee thing that the World of Warcraft is. And so they have no sub-fee, and they have no cash shop, no in-game shop to constantly push down your throat. And I really like that. You know, it's like, when I think about Diablo 3, it's like, yeah, you know, there's no sub-fee, and there's no cash shop. And that's cool, because that means they're not getting massive amounts of income to produce tons of content, but they're doing their darndest for what they can. And when they release content like this, and if it has to take over a year or 2 years, whatever, that's cool, man. So long as I know, because I'm pretty keen, I'm pretty sure, I like the theories that they're going to release these DLC class bundles and zones like 2.6.0. Maybe like one more shot of it, because I have a feeling, maybe one or even two more shots of it. I have a feeling that a D4 is on the horizon, of some kind of D4 is on the horizon, and I have a feeling that they were like thinking about an expansion, another expansion after Reaper Soul, but they were like, well, we don't really got a ton of cash for this, it wasn't that super popular, and things aren't really quite working out how we wanted. I have a feeling that they want to do something big, and the means for them to get there is to do these DLC paid for class bundles in the meantime to kind of keep us satisfied. So I'm hoping for that, and whatever the future may hold, I'm excited for this here and now. It's coming soon. They didn't give a direct release, I believe, date for these zones and the lovely juicy lore that's coming with it, but it looks fantastic. And yeah, I hope you're excited for it too. I'd love to hear your opinions on it. I'd love to reach out more to the Diablo community. I'm Riku Worgan, hello, and yeah, give a like, give a subscribe. I'd love to hear from you guys. All that stuff helps out a lot. And if you haven't seen the really cool little minute-and-a-half trailer that they released showcasing these cool-ass zones, I'm going to leave it at the end of this video. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and hope you enjoy the trailer. And I'll see you guys next week.